Hello, is anybody there? Robert?
Hi, Betty. What's up?
Hi, Robert. How are you?
Yeah, good. Just going out with the family.
Ah, how are the kids doing? Ah, there you are. Ah. It's like a regular nursery there. Not a...
And a no scissors. Thank you. Well, how's things?
So how are you doing, Robert?
Yeah, good. Same as ever. Same as always.
Ah, I think you're still in Kuwait.
Yeah. No, say hello.
Is that your apartment? Hi. Oh, look at you guys, so cute. How old are they now?
Very cute.
How old are they?
She's next month. 18 months soon.
Hi.
That's one of my Buddhist friends. You've met her. A long time ago. Hi, Anna.
Hi, how old are the kids now?
Ryan's 7 and Nina's 5.
Ah.
And Anna's 18.
Oh. Lovely. They look sweet.
Now we're just going in the elevator, Betty.
Ah, okay. You're going downstairs to do it downstairs. Okay. Hello, Gabby. Ah, you got to unmute your microphone.
Hello. Yes. Better?
Hi, how are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. And how about you?
Good, all right. For my microphone, I mean, not microphone, the camera had not been working, and now suddenly it's working. So I'm very happy.
I can see you today.
Hi, Nina. How are you?
Das Gabi.
Guten Morgen, Nina.
Ja, guten Morgen.
Wie geht es dir?
Sehr gut, ja.
Ja, schön. Es ist kalt geworden, bei euch auch.
Was ist das?
Es ist kalt geworden. Die Nacht hat es Frost gegeben.
Es ist nicht warm, es ist kalt.
Ja, es ist kalt. Es ist kalt.
Ja.
Nina, how are you doing?
Fine, I'm okay. I'm busy every day.
Good. Yeah,
And
now
you?
we're not,
And you?
sorry, go ahead.
And how are you?
I'm okay. We're okay here. We've been having demonstrations, but actually I haven't seen one live. I've never, it's the same kind of tactics they're using in the States to, it's the left that's trying to destabilize the whole situation.
Yes.
You know that they've destroyed a number of cities in the United States, like New York, all these big cities that are run by the Democratic Party are all basically, a lot of places are boarded up, things have been burned down. It is awful, and the press lies about it. So, but anyway, and now the Democrats have made the most horrendous cheating on an election ever in American history.
I don't engage now in politics. because
Yeah, it's probably better to stay out of it
Good.
because it's so horrible what they're doing. It is unbelievable, and people don't know it because they only read, the main newspapers, so they don't know what's going on and the lies they're being told. Unbelievable. It's sad. It very, very, very sad.
Different opinions. Different people have different opinions.
Well, it's not just a matter of a different opinion, because the left would like to destroy anybody who doesn't have the same opinion. So that's the difference. For instance, suppose you have a channel on YouTube, and if you don't say the same narrative as the left, they try to take you off the YouTube. That's one example. Or they fire you from your job, or they give you bad grades in class if you're a student. Or
No, we are not busy with other people. It's no good.
yeah, exactly. It's
I know our own Twitter just while talking now.
Mhm.
It's already very difficult.
Yeah, it's not good, but that's what's happening, and it's sad that's happening. But anyway, let's go on to
Oh, Carmen.
Goedemorgen.
It's
Better
good, Carmen. Although you are very busy now with the control of the COVID,
yeah.
your job.
Well, I have friends who just got back from, in fact, from Holland. They came back in September, and they said that the situation of COVID's very bad because people do what they want to do. They don't follow the rules about social distancing and wearing masks and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, Lucas is here. Hello, Lucas.
Where's Lucas? I don't see
you.
Yes, hello Nina,
How are
hello
How
everyone.
are you, Lucas? Are you all right?
Oh, Lucas, that's a nice Buddha image you've got there.
Yeah, I found it, yeah. I'm feeling well now. I found out that I have no coronavirus, so I'm okay, you know.
How do you put a picture in there? That's what I want to know, how to do that.
It's a bit tricky. I think you need to go to the Zoom, app, and then go to the settings. Oh, no, settings. You need to put, settings, and there will be like edit something, and then
edit, and then you can get your picture in.
No, it sends you back to the website, and you log in.
Oh, the website.
And then you can change, yeah.
An app. The app. When you do it
Hallo,
via the
Wilhelm.
app, you can do it.
Wie geht es dir?
I'll ask Sukin later how to do it. I don't know. I'm kind of computer challenged. Hi, Tadao.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
I'm glad you're only holding up 2 fingers instead of 3.
Yeah. How are
Oh, what
you?
does it mean in Thailand?
Huh? Oh, this is that's what the protesters are using as a symbol against the monarchy, against the government.
Okay.
Yeah, never mind. I don't blame her. It's the same kind of people who were doing all the protesting in the United States. It's the same group, funded by the same kinds of organizations, Black Lives Matter and all those. So, yeah. And they're starting to do violence here too. Before the protests were relatively peaceful, but now they're starting to get violent, and so it's very troubling. But at least they're arresting some of them and so forth, because okay, if they want to protest, that's fine, but don't get violent and destroy property. That's another thing that they have no right to do. So anyway, Just, I'm not sure when Tana John will be on the group. Let's see how many people we have now. We have 16 on here. And I'm not sure whether
Sarah and Jonathan.
Sarah here yet. There they are.
Okay.
There's John and Sarah.
Hi
Okay.
everyone.
Hi, John, Sarah, how are you?
Yeah, good thanks.
So Ajahn, I can hear Ajahn.
Yeah,
Oh,
is
for everyone. Hello, Ajahn.
it? Hi,
Please come back.
great for John. Maybe Sarah, maybe you can start the discussion. Maybe Nina has something to ask or say first. Yeah, it's after 2 o'clock, so that's why I'm okay.
สวัสดีค่ะทุกคนค่ะ
Hi, Jan.
I got my camera back finally, but no makeup today, so. Hello, Alberto. How are you?
ครับอาจารย์ครับ
Nopadone. We never see your face, Nopadone.
Okay, let's start.
Yes.
Does anyone have anything they would like to start with? Nina or Lucas or anyone?
I have a question.
Please go ahead, Nina.
Okay.
Ajahn, can you hear me, Ajahn?
Is it John there? Yes, she is. Okay.
I wonder whether Ajahn is here.
I'm mute.
Yeah. I have a question for Ajahn, but I don't know whether Ajahn can hear me.
Yes, very well, very clear.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Ajahn.
Nina.
Ajahn, you said we are always led by ignorance and attachment to that which appears that is not the previous moment. So I thought the meaning, maybe the previous moment is very precise because it has just fallen away. It's gone, but it's as close to the present moment as possible. Is that the meaning of what you said?
It's impossible to directly experience a reality, only one reality at all, because realities arise and fall away in split seconds, according to the procession, no matter it's through eye door or what doorway. There must be many, many moments before there can be the notion of something there. For example, we see a glass, but each unit, each one of that visible object, which is together with hardness and softness, but the hardness or softness cannot impinge on the eye base. But what is there is a reality which is now impinging on the eye base. And the karma, one karma, condition the moment of just arise to see that object, no matter one would like to see it or not at all. But by condition, it has risen and fall away. The Panchatavara Vachana cannot be known. The seeing just one moment cannot be known. Because now everything appears together like so many things around. But in reality, just one moment of experiencing an object. That's why whatever appears, no matter when, is the nimitta, the image of that reality, which arises and falls away continuously to form up the idea of something there. But only one reality, just only one cannot be experienced at all. Impossible. Even Panya has to arise at the other process. See? Because as soon as seeing has fallen away, can Panya arise to understand it? Impossible. That's why what is now appearing is only the nimitta, the image of that which arises and falls away, uncountable. But as nimitta is there to be known, as it's different from the other, there can be the understanding of that characteristic as it is, which is different from other reality. To begin to know that it's real, it's conditioned, and the moment when it arises and falls away, it's not known yet, and impossible for just one, but as nimitta. That's why always rupa nimitta, even the vedana is vedana nimitta, sanya nimitta, sankhara nimitta, and vinyana nimitta. Can panya of the Buddha directly experience seeing when it's followed by sampatichana? See, not by panya. That's why what is now appearing is the image of different realities, different kinds of different realities.
Yes, that is clear. But you said not the previous moment. So the meaning is what has just fallen away, or what is it, the previous moment?
Can you know now the previous moment?
It's gone.
See, uncountable. No one can count 1, 2, 3 at all. See, so many are there, appear and disappear. But the image is there to be known, as that cannot be anything or anyone, because it has its own characteristic, no matter that which has fallen away and that which follows instantly, the same kind, but not the same one. That's why the object does not appear clear at all. And it would appear a little bit clearer when Panya develops to the different degrees of understanding. For example, we are talking about seeing as not me. It sees, but what it? See, now, what moment? It's gone all the time. But the image of it is there to be known.
Ajahn, you also said there can be more understanding of the different levels of no self, the different levels of anatta.
Yes, for now, see, we are talking about seeing, intellectual understanding only, which understands that it cannot be taken for anyone, because without conditions, the proper conditions, there cannot be seeing to arise and see. See, can there be the understanding of such as not me? It's there by conditions. Even it now appears, but the truth of it underneath, deeply down, does not appear yet. Because we're talking about what? Seeing while it's gone all the time. And without the intellectual understanding, no conditions to lead to understand, seeing at moment of seeing only. Begin to understand just that one as it is. Even we don't use any word. Seeing is not hearing, see, but they are all taken for me, someone, all the time, until just one reality is considered carefully, that it has conditions to arise and to appear, just not as the other. But while we are talking about seeing, there are so many things around, all unknown as they are at all. Because even while we are thinking and speak and talk about this, many realities arising, falling all the time, unknown. That's why it's just one moment only, the moment of thinking and the moment of hearing about what it's meant by the word, like seeing. What does it mean? It means that reality which now sees, and we understand the word see, but no understanding that it's the moment of just experiencing that which impinges on the ibis. Who can do that? Who can control it? Who can change it? See, it's gone already. If there is anger appearing, there can be the idea of I don't like it, I would like to stop it, not understanding that it's gone completely. See? So we just live in the world of ignorance, in darkness, not understanding what is there as it is. But when whatever appears, there is the moment of thinking or taking as something there. Even we don't know what. Many moments there is the idea of what? What is that? Because it's gone so fast before they can be thinking about what it is. Because it's so fast. But there is the idea of something, of that which we don't know yet. What is it? See, always think. And one of the thing is I, and the other, and on, all day, all night, all life. That's why we learn to understand just one reality from hearing, considering, until the moment when it's there. There are conditions to condition thinking about it as it's heard before. It's not the other higher understanding that even thinking is not self. When it's there, can anyone stop thinking about it? See, when it's there by conditions and gone completely, everything, every moment. That's why it's the beginning of understanding intellectually about anatta and sunyata. At moment of thinking of it, after hearing it again and again and again, not yet to be acquainted to that characteristic as only a reality, different from the others. Like hardness is not seeing, no time at all to think about it because of not conditions to think like that, no condition at all. Until this hearing about hardness is there, not seeing. Until at moment of hardness is appearing, it's there to be object of thinking of about its truth as only hard. Nothing is there, little by little. Nothing is there. Hardness appears. It has to be just hardness, not sweetness, not smell. It's just that. So fast and then gone. Not enough yet to understand it clearer and clearer as to understand the moment of its arising and falling away. Of nimitta, see, everything must appear as nimitta, depending on understanding. That what which now appears, no more, gone completely. And the next one seems like to be exactly the same, but actually different moment and different reality, different ones. From hearing the truth of each reality in a day more and more, there can be the understanding how long to experience the noble truth which can be known, but not by ignorance or the I or the self or attachment, but from at moment of understanding, it let go by itself at moment of understanding. Without understanding, is there something as before, not only this life, so many lives, millions and millions lives in the past, from the past up to this moment. Even this moment, just one moment, is conditioned from the accumulation from the previous realities, on and on and on and on, until it's now and then gone. No I. This is the truth that can be known from hearing, considering, until there are conditions enough to understand that which is now appearing by no me, no self, no I, but by conditions. It shows its nature of anatta, but it's not clear each moment, or anatta. until one by one can be object of better and clearer understanding.
Another question that came up was,
Nina, just before the next question, just one point on that one of yours about what you heard about understanding of different levels of not self. So it refers to how the understanding has to develop of the anattanas or sunyata of realities. So it's not the degrees of anatta, but it's the degrees of understanding that has to develop from intellectual understanding, beginning to consider wisely about different realities as anatta, so that that understanding itself develops. That is what is meant.
yes. And another question that is related to what you say now came up. Ajahn said, seeing is very subtle, but it was suggested the understanding of seeing is very subtle. But is it so that seeing itself is very subtle? I was not sure about the meaning of that.
What is the subtlety of what you said? I, or what?
Intricate, very intricate.
Yes. When it's not I, what is that? Something. Always thing, not just a reality. This moment, there are so many realities, not just one, but all of them fall away instantly all the time. So we better talk about just one reality to understand it more and more, and the understanding letting go, the clinging as something little by little. And this is the intellectual understanding. Its function is to understand what is there, having heard about the truth little by little, but not yet the direct experiencing, even just one. For example, now, that which is seen and the seeing are different. So, better understanding both, not just one. Otherwise, there must be doubt about that which is not considered at all, as it is. What's the meaning of as it is? As no one and no thing in it at all. Visible object cannot be other thing. Seeing cannot just hear or do anything at all. Just arise to see. That's all. Not I, not anyone at all. And without the I base, there cannot be seeing. Without that which has to impinge on that, to be object, which is there to experience. Only that, see? Each moment, very subtle, very intricate, but it be known from hearing the teachings again and again and again, the truth of it. And when there is the more understanding of no one and no self, it let go. Try to do anyway to know it better. Impossible. Only the understanding what is heard, firmer and firmer, more confidence. Nobody can change anything which appears, and that, why? Because it's gone completely. But the idea of self is there at any moment of experiencing anything. And it's not just the experiencing, the chief of experience. There is also other reality which experience that object together with the experiencing. They are different cetasikas. They are there. Sanya is there. Who think about that as there is sanya of everything which is now appearing. So it's I again of the five khandas. to be attached to whatever is there because of ignorance, not understanding the rapidity of the arising and following and sunyata and anatta. Never be there, never arise again at all. Only one in samsara and only once in samsara. Is that true? This to be considered to understand more and more about no one there at all. Very natural. See, whatever is listened is now, about whatever is now appearing. Seeing, hearing, thinking, like or dislike, understanding or no understanding. It's only the word, visible object, that which is seen, and it's now. See how deep it is, how subtle it is. And the meaning of the Four Noble Truths is not just thinking or hearing or developing, but it's a moment of, at degree of being conditioned to just arise and experience anatta, no one at all the way along until that moment, all are anatta. If atta is there, it hinders the truth instantly. The way is longer and longer with akusala, wrong path, wrong understanding. So now, to be truthful, no I, but that is only intellectual understanding. But what about seeing now? See, Buddha didn't teach just to know or to understand, but to directly experience the truth from stage to stage. There cannot be the precise understanding of that which is nama, the experiencing, and that which is rupa at all. In the beginning, impossible. So there is the beginning to understand the difference between awareness at level of intellectual understanding and awareness which is the direct awareness of that which is now appearing by conditions. It shows its anatthaness, but panya is not enough to understand it, as it's not I at all, because it just begins to be aware of a reality unknown now. What would it be? Because it hasn't arisen yet. But by conditions, no choice, it's there. So each word brings about the understanding of anatta. Not enough yet. That's why it hears more, consider more, until it begins to understand the meaning of it, but not yet that which is now appearing. Different level of understanding. So when it's not appear as clear as vipassana jnana yet, the characteristic which arises and experience nothing there at all, that's the moment of understanding, to know directly. It is that which experiences, no I to be found. And it's not the object of seeing, but the seeing itself appear, reveals itself. No one there at all. Because it's not any rupa, no color, no sound, no smell at all. Think about nothing as rupa at all. That which arises, otherwise it's not there to be known. That which experiences, only experiencing is that. To be known clear what is meant, and no doubt about different levels of understanding. It's not only thinking about it. is not just know a little more about it, but not knowing yet or experience it yet or not understand it yet, because it has to be panya. So the object appear clearer little by little from moment of satipatthana. One knows that it's not clear yet, but know the difference between sati at level of intellectual understanding and that which is not only intellectual, but it is directly experience an object, even it's so short. So panya knows as short as that is not enough. It's gone. Panya does not explaining, does not understand that clearly enough. But it begins to see just the difference between sati at level of intellectual understanding at this moment and that which is not only intellectual understanding. The understanding develops from then on to begin, just begin to understand the characteristic, not just the word about it. So it needs viriya parami, khanti parami, satya parami, nekama parami, atithana parami. All parami comes from understanding that it cannot be other way at all. Just one moment is not enough. One life is not enough.
We tend to forget that what you said, that the paramis are the only way to let go of self. But we had many discussions which were so useful about patience and virya cetasika and determination and even-mindedness. So not to become disheartened when it is a long way for that the paramis are so helpful. But we tend to forget this.
That's why listen more, thinking more, see, because all of us know about the teachings, the words about seeing, hearing, or whatever is there now, but not condition, no condition enough to condition moment of even thinking of the truth. For example, hardness now. Exactly the same. It can be changed to other things like smell or taste. But is there any moment of begin to just think about it as a reality or not me? It's not anything, it's just hard. And it appears so short because other object is there. At different moment of experiencing now, see all the time, different ones, different objects. Not enough right understanding to even thinking about, even not hearing it. And this is the truth in a day. Like now, or like at the moment.
Ajahn, are you saying that if there is no Chinta Maya Panya, there cannot be Bhavna Maya Panya?
What are you thinking about now?
Trying to understand what is Chinta Maya Panya, what is Bhavna Maya Panya.
What about other moments when we're not talking about reality right now?
There's not much thinking about the Dhamma in a day. There's usually thinking about other things with attachment, with ignorance.
So thinking about the truth is also panya level, not to forget it, because there is enough condition to think about it. Anatta, see, takes quite great khanti and viriya to let go that I will try or I will read or I will think, impossible by conditions. So the understanding of anatthaness is the way to let go wrong understanding and the idea of self. And no need to ask anyone at all. It's your own understanding. Even thinking is not yet thinking about that. And if there is concerning about oneself so much, it hinders again. See? So the akusala is all around. Panya develops in the midst of akusala. At moment of seeing, hearing, that's why it takes quite a long time. But Satya Barami, that's not afraid of whatever would arise, akusala or kusala, see? Because it might condition moment of delight or happy to have wholesomeness. I again, Vedana Khanda, Vedanupathana Khanda, Sanyupathana Khanda, Sankharupathana Khanda, all there until whatever is now, no doubt about the nature of no one, anatta. Until there can be condition for vipassana jnana. Anatthaness appears there better than when it does not arise. How such understanding of such object, which is nothing around, only one, clearer, see, as it is, as it's known, as it's that which is had, no word, not thinking about it, but the experiencing with understanding of that object as it is there. The experiencing, no need to try to understand it because it's there, it's known directly, no doubt about that. That's why it's a different stages of different level of understanding. And it needs not just the Suttamaya Panya, but also the proof is that after hearing, is there condition enough to think of this, even it's only thinking in the right way, with understanding, not yet, until it's there. Great patience.
Ajahn, can I ask you a question? Can I interrupt you? Thank you.
Please.
When you say
Okay.
like to see one object only at one time. So that means
yes.
You mean like 1 minute?
What about minute?
To see one object at the time, that means what I do not understand is to see one object at the time. That means in 1 hour I only see one object, or one or 2 hours I only see one object, or all day I only see one object. I'm a bit confused. Can you explain more about that? Thank you.
How many seconds in a minute?
60 seconds in a minute.
Yes, but how many is there? How many is there as 1 minute? How many seconds?
60 seconds.
And what about that of the 16? How many moments?
Cannot count.
So uncountable. No one knows except the Buddha. He taught about the moment of Pawanka, the moment of Panchatavara Vachana, the moment of seeing, and the moment of Sampatitthana and so on. How many moments? And what appears now? Sampatitthana, Santirana, 1 moment or what?
So how can we see one object at a
What
time
are
then?
there between seeing and hearing? What are there between seeing and hearing? Is it 1 minute of seeing and hearing, unseparated,
Separated,
indivisible?
yep. Yep.
Can it be separated? What are there in between seeing and hearing?
Pavanga and also other jitters.
See, can you know?
No.
So now, when something is there as a cup, how many moments of seeing of each which is seen together as a thing?
Yes, uncountable, yes. We cannot count, yes. So millions and millions of seeing.
That's why all appear as nimitta.
Yes. So we can only see mimita, so we cannot see one object at a time then.
Can Buddha, could Buddha, will Buddha in the future?
I don't know.
He taught as he understood directly as enlightenment, more than just anyone can expect. So how can there be I or anything permanent before coming to be just a thing, so many moments of seeing, experiencing the same object until it appears as nimitta and thinking about it, take it for something known, banjati, see, and different words after, see. Otherwise, one cannot understand the virtues of the Buddha, how great that incomparable, cannot be thought about, even thinking of experiencing that which experience. No one, no thing at all. What is there to be? See, unexpectedly. And this is the intellectual understanding. Otherwise, nothing can lead to direct understanding and to vipassana jnana and to enlightenment of truth. How subtle, how profound, and how deep is there. Now it seems like it's so short there, but it's so very deep.
Tam, when you mention about an object lasting for a minute or an hour or 5 hours, it's the idea of something that exists, something that is lasting. But the visible object that's seen now is not something or anything that lasts. It's just an element, a Dhamma that arises and falls away instantly in very, very split second, gone as soon as it's arisen. It's not something that lasts for any time at all. So as soon as there's an idea of what is seen as lasting, it's not the understanding of Dhamma as anatta, just an element that arises and falls away. And the reality, the visible object or the seeing, it doesn't change at all, whether there's understanding or ignorance. The visible object is just the same. It doesn't mean that there is more levels of anatta or more subtlety, because the visible object is exactly the same, but the understanding has to develop until it understands that object clearer and clearer, just as it is. And just on the point about Nina's point about being disheartened, of course, when there's a feeling of being disheartened, we know it's because of clinging to the self, taking the understanding or awareness for my understanding or awareness. But even those moments of thinking about not enough understanding, or why don't I understand more, or I wish it more. Well, this is just different dharmas that are conditioned and also fall away instantly, not my thinking or anyone's thinkings. So they're just moments of akusala that arise and are gone instantly, nothing to be concerned about at all. But it helps to understand that without clinging, there wouldn't be any of these ideas of being disheartened, but very natural and gone as soon as they've arisen. So whatever arises is gone instantly. Nothing lasts at all, not even for a moment.
So we need all the paramis. They all help.
And it's not I who can have any paramis, so they're not paramis for me. It's just as understanding develops, the paramis develop with the understanding.
Yes.
And without the support of the truthfulness and the patience and so on, understanding wouldn't be able to develop at all. Because the clinging is so strong, the ignorance is so strong. Without the patience, without the truthfulness, without the determination and so on, understanding couldn't develop. But they're just dhammas, just elements that arise and fall away, not my paramis that I need to develop or something like that, because that's the opposite of developing paramis. When there's the idea I should have more patience, or I should have more truthfulness, or I need more metta, that is taking one along the wrong path. That's why even the development of the paramis has to be very, very natural, not trying to have or wishing to have or concerning oneself and one's kind of paramis at all. So the clinging to self and the wrong view of self comes in all the time, making life difficult, obstructing the development of the path.
Sarah, when you say clinging, that means that clinging to the self. But when you mention attachment, is to do with lobha, right?
So lobha is clinging,
Attachment.
attachment. There are different kinds of attachment. So clinging
So
to what is seen, clinging to what is heard, clinging to all kinds of realities. And when there is wrong view, taking them for being my seeing, my hearing, my disheartened thoughts, and so on.
So clinging and attachment is the same.
The
Yes?
same, yes.
Thank you.
Lobha Cetasika, yes.
Yes, thank you.
So even now, as soon as there's seeing and hearing, lobha comes in very quickly, and the different degrees and kinds of lobha. So when it's the idea of I need more paramis, or I should be aware, or I can understand this object at last, then it's the clinging with wrong view that hinders the path.
Last time in the Zoom, I did mention about the clinging of understanding, but because I did not have enough time to ask you to explain more about that, I gave the example in the Zoom that like I like stealing is bad. So because of the clinging to the idea, stealing is bad. So next time I want to steal something, I'm reminded of that thinking, So is there such thing as clinging to the understanding or no? Thank you.
Clinging can cling to anything at all. Clinging to metta now, clinging to understanding, clinging to seeing, clinging to what's seen. Clinging can cling to anything except the lokuttara citas, the moments of enlightenment, for example. So clinging now can cling to anything at all. There can be a moment of wise considering and understanding and then clinging instantly.
But that is a kusala, yes. But if you
Akusala.
clinging to the wrong idea, that is akusala.
So we don't need to think about this when there's stealing, but even now, clinging arises so commonly, like looking at the visible object and clinging instantly, hearing sound, clinging instantly. But it's not my clinging, it's not I am clinging or you are clinging, it's just a cetasika that arises with the citta and clings to that Dhamma, that reality at that moment.
Clinging to understanding is also a kusala. It's not the object that determines the nature, it's the mental factor itself, which is inherently a kusala, whatever the object.
So whenever clinging arises, no matter what the object is, it's always lobha, and lobha is always akusala. Wishing to have more understanding, wishing to be a good person, wishing not to steal ever. It's different kinds of clinging.
Right. Thank you very much. Yep. I'm clearer now. Thank you.
Thanks, Tam Tam. Does anyone else have any questions they want to bring up? I don't know if Lucas is still there with it. Oh, Alberto?
Hi, yes, I wanted to ask Ajahn about Dhammayatana. I've been reading on some translation that is, the definition is the mental object, the object of citta. But I think Dhammayatana is it is not referring to the objects of citta at all. Actually, if it's object of citta, it cannot be Dhammayatana. I mean, if it's the object of mind or processes, it cannot be Dhammayatana or any other ayatana at all. I think because it's already fallen away. It's not there. It's not there anymore. Can you explain a bit more about Dhammayatana, Ajahn, please?
And what about the other ayatana?
The other
when there is
more
the understanding of ayatana, there can be understanding of the other ayatana as well. So what is meant by the word ayatana? See, it's there in truth, in reality, not the word, but why realities such and such are different ayatanas? Because they are different realities. There is always I-based, jakupasada, conditioned by karma. But when there is no seeing, is it ayatana?
No.
No. So only when the experiencing of a reality is there, Citta itself also have other reality condition is rising. So Citta and Cetasika indivisible, right? They arise together. Ayatana is that which is their meeting together with what? What are there? Must be ayatana. For example, seeing this, whatever is seen now, it needs that which is seen to impinge on the eye base. So three ayatanas now. The rupa ayatana, that eye, and the object, rupa ayatana, and the experiencing, seeing, manayatana, and the other, what is it? Cetasikas must arrive together. So it's Dhamma ayatana.
Right.
When we talk just about citta alone, is it ayatana?
Yes, manayatana.
It must be because Dhamma ayatana is there too, together. Meeting together cannot be separated at all. So when will it be ayatana? When they arise together and when they are there together. Like seeing is far away, not that impossible to be ayatana, but when it's there and there is that, only such visible object only which impinge on it is rupa ayatana. No other rupa is not there at moment of seeing. So cakkayatana and rupayatana and manayatana and dhammayatana are there.
And this is through the sense door. This is the sense door process.
And my ear door, all the same. What are there? They cannot be there, otherwise that cannot arise as seeing or hearing. So the point is the ayatana now, see, not the word, but the truth. While one is sleeping, is the ayatana?
Yes.
See, no doubt anymore about ayatana at any time. What are there together? They have to be there. Cannot miss just even one at that very moment. And when is the cakkayatana? Only at moment of seeing. Only at that moment it's there, together with other ayatana, meeting point, meeting moment.
Right. In that moment of thinking, only two ayatana, only manayatana and dhammayatana.
So what else is dhammayatana?
All the other, all the rupa, which is not apart from the seven rupas, the same with Ayarupas or Saptarupas. And
As object.
as object, right?
So Dhammayatana including Rupa. When
Right.
it's that meeting, coming together.
And Alberto, this is the answer to your question too, because for example, like there's masculinity or femininity arising all the time, but what about for the one with highly developed understanding? If masculinity, the subtle rupa, is the object of understanding, then if it's the object of understanding, it is ayatana at that moment. So it's the same with Cetasika also.
Yes, but these are not everyday object of understanding, because they usually are the visible object, the sound, and the other the tangible object, and these are the normal object of understanding.
But your question at the beginning was, you asked about how a mental object, for example, lobha, as if it's the object of understanding, how it could be ayatana as object, because you said the lobha itself had fallen away, but it doesn't matter at that moment, it's the object of experience. So it's ayatana at that moment of being experienced, just like subtle rupa. Otherwise, subtle rupa could, like masculinity, couldn't be dhammayatana for developed understanding. So if the cetasika or the subtle rupa is the object of understanding, then it is ayatana at that moment.
Right, but that's not the everyday object of understanding at all. The subtle rupas is the
That's why they're subtle rupas, because even the gross rupas are not usually object of understanding.
yes, and it also means that they're not ayatana very often. So actually, I think there are very, very seldom, or perhaps not in this lifetime for sure.
But the reason is not because it has fallen away already, just like lobha can be the object of understanding. So the reason is not that it's fallen away, but because it's very subtle, that rupa, that's why it's not, not understood, not the object.
Yeah, okay, I got that, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nibbana can also be the dhammayatana, also not the
Not everyday object. What about visible object to the mind, or can it be dhammayatana? Can it be ayatana? The visible object after, like in when is the object of understanding through the mind, or can it be dhammayatana or rupayatana, or yes, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about like the visible object and the sound and the other object to the sense door, but after they've fallen away and then they become the object of understanding, and this can happen even now, if, of course, by conditions, but that still these are nimitta of the object, which means they are not there anymore. So in this case, I don't think that would be ayatana, since they are nimitta, they're fallen away. but I'm not sure. That's why I was asking.
I think it's like the question about the subtle rupa or the cetasika that is experienced when it's the object of understanding. That subtle rupa has also fallen away, but it still can be the object of understanding because it's always the nimitta of the reality that appears. So if you said that if it's nimitta or if the subtle rupa has fallen away, it can't be ayatana, then it would, subtle rupas would never be Dhamma ayatana.
Yeah, I think it's slightly different because subtle rupa is Dhammayatana, but visible object is only Rupayatana, is not Dhammayatana. But through the mind, or it's it cannot. It has to be Rupayatana, but that's not through the sense door. So I don't think it's ayatana there in that situation after.
What about if
because,
there is understanding of visible object in the I-door process? Because actually the visible object is just the same.
That's right. Yeah. There would be Rupayatana.
Just exactly the same, I think.
Through the mind door as well?
So the visible object is the same, like at a moment of understanding, no difference in the visible object, no matter if it's in the I-door process or the mind door process, the characteristic is exactly the same, no difference. But maybe Ajahn would like to add more on this point.
Yeah, hopefully.
So from my understanding, it's still the coming together of the different realities. So no matter whether that subtle rupa or that visible object have in fact fallen away and are being experienced through the mind, or it's still the characteristic of the reality, it's still the coming together of reality.
Sarah, okay.
Yeah, you go ahead, Sukim.
All right, no, I just wanted to ask. So, Sarah, the rupas, the subtle rupas are all Dhammayatana when they are objects of understanding.
Yes.
And when it's not the subtle rupas, but the five sense, the seven rupas, these are all Rupayatana. Right?
Yes, they're rupayatana, but I think it's the same like the cetasika can be the cetasika which arises with seeing is at that moment is dhammayatana, but if the cetasika, the lobha, is the object of understanding, it's also at that moment it's dhammayatana as object.
But in the case which, as Alberto pointed out, after sense door, the mind door experiences the same rupa. That means it's always rupa yatana in that case.
I would say so because visible object is never subtle rupa. So dhammayatana only refers to subtle rupas. So visible object is never subtle rupa. So, but I would be glad if Ajahn would like to add more. That would just be how I would think of it. Like we had discussions before about heart-based, that it can be object of understanding for Buddha and the very wise as Dhammayatana, but also it can be ayatana when there is the coming together of realities, when it is the base. But these are very intricate points.
Right.
I think that we're talking about different topics or different types of reality. For example, when we talk about ayatana, we talk about ayatana. And when we talk about aramana, we are talking about aramana. That's why we have to understand that what is what. For example, when we talk about aramana, it means at moment when it is experienced as object of experiencing is aramana. So at that moment, no matter what is there as it's experienced, is the aramana of a certain experiences, different kinds of citta. When we talk about ayatana, we talk what are there at that very moment, see? And can anyone distinguish the moments of seeing as through minder or through sensor or to idol? Now, see? So the question about whether the object, visible object, is the object of minder process, see? Can anyone separate this moment, whether it's experienced through the idol or to minder? As it is like this, it does not appear well. And what is meant by well, depending on that very moment of different stages of understanding. So, what about the object before enlightenment? Is it not nimitta? Or is still nimitta? That's why it has to be thought about on and on and on and on and on again until it becomes clearer. But it's not that which is experienced directly yet. So what is taught by the Buddha must be true. For example, even at moment of vipassana jhana, that's whatever experience is still that which is experienced, like just now. So very rapidly, visible object is there through minder because it's vipassana jhana, but it doesn't mean that it is not the object of the seeing before. See, but what about the understanding of that very moment to be? For example, it's the understanding of that which is seen as that, no name, no thinking about anything at all, because it's experienced by that level of panya. Just like now. No thinking about whether it's seen before and then experienced to mind or after at all. See? But the characteristic of that appears so clear. No other object at all, only that. No thought about whether it's through mind or sensor or the idol at all. But panya is there enough to understand the truth that it's no one at all. No doubt about that, which cannot be known even such moment as whether it's through idol or minder. But panya can understand the truth that it cannot be taken for anything and it cannot be changed to be other object at all, other reality. That which is seen is a reality and it has to be just only that. That's why nimitta is the object of whatever is known or directly experienced as vipassana jhana, until that which has no nimitta. And what is that? So we understand what's meant by nimitta and never be nimitta at all. Can this be clear just by thinking over and over? Impossible.
Possible.
Even at moment that depending on panya, but what appears are nimitta. of whatever is there. Nimitta of seeing, nimitta of hearing, see. Because the Sampatichana, Santirana or other citta cannot be known, even that just right now. Because Panya cannot experience directly when that has fallen away. It has to go by process, by conditions. Does it mind to know whether it's true sensor or minder? But minder appears as it hasn't appeared at all to the Panya, a different of intellectual understanding. Can anyone imagine what minder would be right now when it's there? In between. So the difference between different stages of vipassana jhana must be quite different from what is now appearing. Otherwise, that cannot be clear understanding of that which appears. Begin to understand that when it's not vipassana jhana, the mind does not reveal itself as it is. No other doorway which is not light at all. No light when it's mind door. No light doesn't mean that it's not the object, but the characteristic, the reality of mind door, see what is meant by that. Just to understand the difference between the eye door, ear door, nose door, tongue door, body door. But it's mind door, see what's meant. Not eye door, ear door, nose door, body door at all. So what is it? Cannot imagine, beyond imagination, beyond thinking of it. It's not as one can think about it until it appears, no doubt, about what's meant by mind door, much different from the sense door. How many doorways now? And how many doorways appear, not as doorway, but as different objects? So develop the understanding of what is there, from hearing, considering, until more and more understanding, firmer and firmer, to be conditioned for the moment when enough conditions to condition such and such moment, different moments. That which hasn't appeared at all, and that which appears all the time in a day. Eye door, ear door, tongue door, nose door, body door. But still, at that moment, no doubt about whether it's true what doorway, but no doubt about mind door. But no thought, no thinking of that. Because it's not intellectual understanding. So just keep on understanding that there is not just seeing or hearing, smelling, tasting, touching through different five doorways, but there is also mind door in between each door. That's why Dhamma is so very subtle, profound, deep, so deep. To know that it's this moment of arising and falling away so rapidly as that thought. But just to understand intellectual about different moments as Bhavanka and the doorway and the Sampatichana, Santirana, Bodhapana, and so on. Unseen, unknown, they do not appear. Panya can understand only that which can appear or which is now appearing. No matter we think about different ayatanas or different words like Sampatichana and Sandirana, unknown. It can understand that which appears by conditions. So many moments in between what appears as together, like seeing and hearing. To understand the great virtues of Buddha is to understand his words of truth about now. That which anybody cannot know, he knows much more than he thought, than he taught. To understand the anatta-ness, no one, no thing, permanent at all conditioned to arise and fall away. Each word to understand as much as one can understand. Like Ayatana, what Ayatana now, see? Only that. As no one, so that it can condition the understanding of that which now appears. No one can make it arise. It's gone completely as well. Nothing can be taken for anything permanent. One can be this person only in this life. No more to be this person again. But what is there after this life is conditioned by what is now, from moment to moment. And even right now, when there are more conditions, is there arbiter? What can be arbiter? See, know me is the best thing to condition other kusala with panya to let go. Nekama parami, little by little. Let go what? Avijja, ignorance, not understanding the truth.
Yes, Ajahn, and even paramis can be taken for self. So there is dana. There can be dana. There can be viriya. There can be sila. But even then, there is I. There is Alberto, and there is everybody is there, and so it's not as easy as the word might imply, might sound. like Dana and Kanti and Sila and Viriya and Aditana. Yeah, more subtle than the words, than just the word. More difficult for sure.
And the truth is there at any moment about, is it me? Is that person? See, what is there? Just visible object or something? See, even thinking about that is not enough yet, or not at all, when it does not arise, to condition more understanding to let go. What is so very firm and thick, so much to clean it, the wrong understanding from life to life, taking that which is no more as something permanent. Even just now, it's not the previous moment ago. All gone all the time, unknown. That's why it clings to that which is there as permanent, not experiencing the arising and falling of whatever is now yet. So there must be the idea of permanency or I or something there, until right understanding from hearing and considering accumulated more and more with patience and virya. No matter what is there as obstacle to go wrong, right understanding protected with sati, which arises by conditions, not to take the wrong way. Not to be by the great master, Lopa, all day, all time. So each word of the teachings of the Buddha is so subtle, like appear well, just one word, who knows what the truth is there, what is meant by well. It's there by condition, see? Does it appear well as it's conditioned only and then gone? Please, Queen Shella.
I was just going to say I'd like to introduce to you and everyone here our friend Icaro from Brazil. And hi, Icaro. And Icaro is a friend from Dhamma Study Group, and he heard one or two Zooms and he was impressed by what you had said before about sunyata, about whatever arises having gone instantly. Would you like to add a little bit, Icaro, about this or any topic?
Oh yes. I want just to remark that Shunyata is a very hard topic in Theravada, because all chitas are mapped, are organized, are in a form. They rise and swiftly they disappear. No more, no traces. So speaking about sunyata is perhaps difficult, but I found the Ajahn exposition very clever, very expositive. I would like to hear more about it, right?
Please, just one word at a time. What would you like to talk about? What would you like to talk about? What word?
I think he mentioned sunyata, Ajahn.
Sunyata.
I see. Is sunyata anatta?
Yes, yes. If sunyata is a Dhamma, so it's really anatta, for sure.
So what is meant by anatta and what is meant by sunyata?
Ikro, unmute. We can't hear you.
Oh, yes, yes.
Start again, thanks.
Okay. I think that anatta means no self, no self. And shunyata means empty, void. So I just understand that would be difficult expose shunyata without anatta. That's my opinion.
So is sunyata anatta?
If sunyata is anatta, if sunyata is a Dhamma, so sunyata is anatta.
Is rupa anatta? Rupa.
Rupa. If rupa is a Dhamma, so rupa is anatta.
What is rupa? What is rupa?
Rupa matter. I think about as matter as something one can experience objectively.
What is rupa now? What is rupa now?
This rupa now is this body, for example. I am touching.
I.
So it's rupa.
I. Is I anatta?
So is anatta by definition.
When you touch, is there I?
There is no I.
Pardon? What is it? When you touch, what is there?
When I touch my face, for example, it's an aggregate of perceptions. Touch, feeling. It's not a self. It's only a set, an aggregate of perceptions.
But when you say I touch, is it self or not self?
When I say I touch, despite the fact you have the I, that's no self. That's a difficult language because you cannot say I thought without thinking about an I. But there's no I, there's no self.
So what is touching? Is there touching?
Touching is an act. If I touch my face, it's an act of sensible perception.
But what is that which is called touching?
Touching. Speaking objectively, it's only a word. Touching is only a word that means I am touching my face.
If it's only a word, it's not true because it's only word.
Oh. Yes, indeed.
So is that touching?
Touching is only a word too.
So real touching at all, only the word? Or there is touching, no matter used any word or not?
If you touch my face, I don't say a word, don't think a word. It's only the act of touching. But I must say I could not elaborate more in this direction.
So
because it's all an act.
So is that you or no you?
Well, if I search an I, there's no I, because I, me, mine, there are also only words too.
Is that your cheek?
Good question. If I touch my cheek, I feel that's my cheek because I identify this perception with the notion of I, my cheek.
So actually, is it a cheek?
Cheek?
Is it cheek? Actually, is it cheek?
Chin, yes.
Or is it hardness, which is touched?
Yes.
What is touched, cheek or hardness?
Yes, I understood. Hardness. Hardness is the feeling when I touch my chin. Yes.
So is the feeling cheek?
No, chin is not a feeling. Hardness is the feeling.
So at moment of touching, is there eye or is there cheek?
In the moment of touching, there's no eye. And thinking about it, that's no cheek, no chin or cheek, only hardness.
No eye and no cheek, right? No eye and no cheek. So what is there which is not eye and which is not cheek?
If there is no eye, there is no chin. Yes. So remains the perception of hardness.
Can a glass touch anything? Or can the cheek touch anything?
If the chin touch too, I must confess I couldn't elaborate this. Perhaps if Ajahn could explain it better.
Is that thinking now?
Thinking, yes, thinking.
What is thinking?
Good question. Thinking is, now you ask me, I think thinking is an aggregate of perceptions inside my head.
When there is no seeing at all, can there be I see?
When I think I see, there is I see, there is I see. Yes.
When there is no thinking, can there be I think?
If there is no thinking, there is a thought. Very difficult question. Very difficult. Very deep question. I could risk say that if there is no thinking, there is no thought.
Is that thinking?
Yes, yes, the thinking. I think that about the words to explain what I have in my mind. For example,
If there is no mind, is there I?
there is no mind. If you don't thinking about I, so there is no the idea of I in mind.
That moment of seeing, is that thinking? Two.
Think seeing is not thinking. They aren't the same.
So seeing is not thinking,
Yes.
right? And when there is thinking, what think?
Thinking about it. So think it's not thought. They aren't the same. Yes.
When there's no thinking, can there be I think?
There's no thinking. If there is I think.
No, I yet.
No.
When there is no thinking, is there I think?
No, indeed. Yes, indeed. There is no thinking. Yes.
So thinking is not I.
Yes.
And seeing is not I.
Yes.
So what sees and what thinks?
If seeing, thinking, and so on, they have an I. They have an I. So they are another.
Okay. Is seeing real?
If seeing is real, I take it as real. Yes.
Not I, but seeing sees it's real. It's a reality.
Yes. So seeing is not real. But
Seeing
the I.
Seeing not real or real? Seeing, is it real or not real?
So in this, yes, not real. Seeing is not real.
You
For
mean
sure.
no seeing because it's not real?
Because the only real thing is the I. There's no seeing.
Okay. What is the I now and where is the I now?
The I now is an organ of my body that perceives external forms.
So thinking is thinking, or I think.
So yes, no, there is no I think.
No, I think, but there is thinking.
I think it's thinking.
There is thinking, but
no.
I think what? What are you going to say? Is there thinking? You are thinking.
Yes.
Is there thinking?
I think there's a thing. No, they aren't the same.
Is there I now?
There is no, there is no I.
No, it's a seeing now.
No, there is no seeing also. There is no seeing. See and seeing aren't the same.
We have to be true to this moment. What is there this moment?
This moment is a set of perceptions. What I am seeing, what I am listening, what I am feeling, what I'm tasting. But there is no seeing, there is no hearing, there is no listening.
Really?
There is no I. Only an aggregate of perceptions.
Can we say that actually there is thinking, there is seeing, but no I? Seeing is seeing and hearing is hearing. No I.
No
Because seeing sees, not
Yes.
I. And hearing hears, not I hear.
Yes.
The hearing hears. So actually there is hearing, but no understanding of seeing as it is, conditioned to arise to hear. Without the ear sense, the ear base, there cannot be hearing at all. If there's no sound arising and impinge on the ear, there cannot be hearing. So all depends on conditions for whatever arising now. Without such certain conditions, that cannot be whatever is now as it is. As seeing, see, there must be conditions for seeing to arise, but the condition is not I. As you said, anatta, no one. But there is condition to condition whatever arises and appears now. In order to understand deeper and clearer that actually seeing cannot be I, because when there is no seeing, where's the I? No I. But when there is seeing, it's there with wrong understanding, taking the seeing as I see all the time. Whatever is there, experiencing anything, it conditions the idea of I, not understanding the conditions for its arising and fall away instantly. Never lasts at all. So we begin to understand the absolute truth. What is real is real. Why? It has its own characteristic. Sound is sound. Smell is smell. See, smell cannot be sound and sound cannot be smell. And there are conditions for each. Whatever arises must be conditioned by a certain proper conditions for that particular one to arise. Only one, and then fall away, never to be or never to arise again. And that is the meaning of anatta. No one there, only different truth of reality, which is there as it is. Seeing cannot be hearing. Thinking cannot be hearing or seeing at all. Each has its own conditions. Without the eyes, they cannot be seeing. Without the ear, they cannot be hearing. That's why no I. If nothing arises, where is the I? No I. And even right now, what is there now falls away completely, absolutely. So where's the I? Whatever is there arising again, the I, wrong understanding, taking that which is conditioned, arising and appear as something. And something is the word in Pali, atta, something. And anatta is not anything at all. No one, no permanent thing at all. So we better understand each word clearer and clearer. Even the word atta, what is there? Something, say, a thing is there. So it's an atta. But actually, saying is not permanent, it's gone. Thinking arises, not permanent, it's gone. Everything arises by conditions and then fall away instantly. That's why the rapidity of the arising and falling away of whatever appears now cannot be known. That's why it looks or it seems like to be permanent. Even seeing is all day. But actually, where are they? gone completely, absolutely. Only once in samsara. To understand anatta, it means what is there is not as thing as we think, as glass, as table, as person, being, animal. No, it's that which can be seen. There cannot be a snake, but there is seeing. A bird sees, a cat sees, human being sees, people in other plane like Deva see. Seeing has to be seeing. It cannot be anything. It cannot belong to anything, to anyone, because it's gone. As soon as it sees, it's gone completely. And this is the meaning of anatta. What is there is not permanent. So how can there be someone or something in that which just arises and falls away completely, absolutely, permanently? No more. That's right. Is there you? See, is there your cheek? Is there I touch? Gone forever. No I at all. Can you stop the arising and falling away of whatever appears now? Not to fall away, just be there. Can anyone make it to be such like one try or make it to be there? Impossible, because it's not belong to anyone at all. Anatta, just conditioned to arise, performs its function, and then fall away instantly. Everything which is there now, the truth of it is that without conditions, it cannot arise. And even conditions condition it to arise. It's gone after it has arisen. No one can stop, can hold it, not to fall away. Impossible. That's why there's no I at all. Because with ignorance, not understand the truth, one takes that which arises as and fall away as permanent thing, as it something like I or a cup or a tree. But actually it is different realities, like visible object and smell, see, sound and taste. They are different. But there must be conditions for that to arise, just to be that, not to be other thing. Whatever appears, not in anyone's control, by conditions, from birth to death. But that's not enough. It has to go on to understand better and better what is born and what dies and what is meant by death. See, the truth is there. When one listening to the truth, which one cannot think out by one's own thought about this and that. For example, who can say that this moment is gone? Not the same moment as before. And it cannot be exactly the same one at all, different ones all the time. That's the meaning of anatta. And that which experiences is a reality which arises to experience only. And that which arises and cannot experience, no one can make it experience anything at all. Like hardness, it is conditioned to arise to be just hard. When it's soft, it's conditioned to arise to be just that level of softness. See, no one can make it different from its own conditions. That's why not under anyone's control is another meaning of anatta. No one can do anything. No one can control anything at all. When there is sadness, it's there already. Who would like to change it to be pleasantness? Impossible. When it's there, it's already conditioned. While we are talking, there is seeing and many things around by conditions, which are different from thinking and talking. And what is talking and what is thinking, what is there all the time, is enlightened by the Buddha, the enlightened one, the absolute truth cannot be changed from the way it is, so natural, as natural by conditions, to be such and such. And that's the meaning of anatta, no I. So if you think that it's I, the body, or the I who see, actually, what's the body? Can the brow be the body? It can be taken away, out. Is it my body? Without any composition, different ones, there cannot be what we say or what we think that it's my body at all. And why the body is so different, not the same of everyone, by conditions. And what conditions such, what we call the body, the ear, the eye. See, without all this, there's no body at all. So each word can be known and can be thought about carefully to understand that it's so true when it's truth. But when there's no understanding, we talk about I and things all around, but actually what's there? Even the word world, a world, what is it? See, if nothing arises at all, can there be the world? Impossible. But when only just one, whatever it is arises, the world is there. Otherwise, how can there be the world if no thing or whatever is there not arise at all? So each one which appears as we take for the world must be a reality, different ones arising and falling away unknowingly all the time, so rapidly. That's why it's like permanent world. The mountain, the river, the trees are there by conditions. Before it's arising, where is it? See, who can make it arise? And this is the meaning of anatta. No one and no thing at all. But it's there by conditions all the time. And what is that? Ignorance, not understanding the truth of whatever is there now. What is the cheek? See, when I touch my cheek, see, no understanding of eye, cheek, and touching. So actually, there can be the understanding of whatever is there, because it's there, it's real. So what we take for a cheek, or my cheek, see, what is there? In reality, in truth. Can anyone tell or say that it is this and that? But the truth can be understood, can be proven. Touch it. Say, what you take for cheek, touch it. What is there? It's a truth. Not a cheek. So it's what? Which is touched. Hardness, softness, heat or cold, depending on what is there at moment of touching. See, if it does not arise, can it be together as something like cheek? Because we can cut the cheek to a very tiny pieces. What piece is the cheek? See, but when they come together, arise together, it's something by its shape, by nimitta, what it appears as something. taken for a glass, a table, people, things, all the same. The truth of it cannot be changed. So what we take from a person without that which arises and experience what is there, can there be that which we take for I? I see. If seeing does not arise, is there I? But whenever seeing is there, no understanding that it's conditioned to arise, to just see or experience visible object only, it's I see, I hear. Actually, they are different absolute realities. Absolute means it cannot be other thing, it cannot be changed by anyone at all. Because it does not arise by anyone, but by conditions for its arising. To just arise and then fall away instantly. That's why there must be the intellectual understanding of the truth of whatever is there now, to understand it clearer and clearer until the arising and falling away can be directly experienced as nimitta, the image, because whatever is there arises and falls away in split seconds. It seems like no gap at all. But from his enlightenment, Buddha taught about what is there. Before that, it's seeing what is there. After seeing what is there. Without conditions, nothing can arise. And after it arising, falling away, no more. No matter you are attached to it so much, it seems like you are attached to that which has fallen away, but not knowing the moment when it's not there. And whatever arises and falls away, never to return, never to arise again, that's the meaning of sunyata, completely gone. So whatever is anatta is sunyata. So sunyata is what? Is the impermanency of anatta. Anatta cannot control, and it's gone forever, never to return. That is sunyata. What you like now is not that which you liked just a moment ago. Different one, but the image is like just the same. As long as condition is there to be just like the same, but it's not the same one. So one clings to sunyata. How ignorant to cling to that which is no more. As something, even I. That's why whatever is there, with ignorance, one takes it as something, I, or he, or she, or whatever, atta. So thinking about the truth of each word to understand the truth of it. All dhammas, and what is dhamma? Whatever is real. All dhammas are anatta. So what is real is dhamma. So we understand it's the dhamma now. Yes. Different dhammas by conditions. Arising and falling away all the time. So where's the eye? Where's my cheek a moment ago? No more. When there's touching again, the same shape, nimitta, takes it from the cheek, not the eye, see? And what knows that as cheek or eye is a reality which arises just to remember whatever is experienced. That reality, which is not the chief of experiencing, we call that reality, which is the chief of experiencing, as the word chitta, or sometimes vijnana, or sometimes mano, many words. Like what we can use different words for just one thing. baby, see, being, see. So much to learn about the truth, not to be ignorant anymore, to understand the truth as no I. This is the only way to let go the idea of self when there's no self, but there are different realities all the time by conditions, not permanent. So it's the word means that which arises in false way. Whatever is there is the world. And when it's lokutra, super, beyond the world, is lokutra, nibbana is there. That's not arise, that's not fall away. Can anyone cling to that which does not arise? That's the object or the reality which lopa attachment cannot cling to. It clings to that which is there when there's no understanding. Is clinging I? This is the question. Is there clinging? Yes. Is it I or someone? Is it?
Ikro, unmute.
Ah, yes. I must say I liked so much the exposition of Ajahn Sujin. I want to let my Anumodana.
ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะทุกคนค่ะ
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ajahn.
It's so good to
Oh,
see
to
everyone.
everyone. To everyone.
Thank you, everybody here.
And thank you, Ikaro, for that good discussion, and Ajahn also. Good to see you.
Yes, glad you could join us, Ikaro. Yes. See you next time.